What's up, family? Man, I appreciate each and every one of you for being here. To all of you that are subscribed, all of the members, all of you that are watching the videos that aren't subscribed, to all of you who share the videos, you know what I mean? To all of you who sow into, this group, this channel, financially. Man, I appreciate you. I truly appreciate you. And I bless you. I thank you for your energy. For all of you that hate on me and say all kinds of stupid, ignorant stuff, man, I appreciate you. And I thank you for your energy as well. You know what I mean? I was talking to a young lady today from the beautiful state of Montana. We was doing an hour-long session, and it seemed like it's taken us almost 2 weeks to finally get our schedules together, to get everything together to where we could finally have this session. I believe in divine timing. Everything happens for a reason in divine timing. Stay with me. We're going to go somewhere, and it's going to get heavy. And so in the process of the conversation, this young lady said something, and it's just like, boom, that's it. Because I was thinking today is like, man, what am I supposed to make my video on for, Tuesday morning? What am I supposed to talk about? It's something I'm always talking about. I'm always praying. I'm always meditating on. God, what am I supposed to say to the people for the next day, for the next video? I don't make a video without consulting God first. You know what I mean? And so I was talking to God all day, and I couldn't get an answer. Normally I'll get up in the morning and I'll go outside and I'll make my videos, but that's after I've gotten a message from God. But I hadn't gotten a message from God about what to talk about. And it wasn't until after I talked to Morgan during our session that, man, she said something that resonated with me. She said something that jumped out. She said something, and my spirit within me started bubbling over, and it's like, that's it. That's what you need to talk about tomorrow. And so because of our conversation, Morgan, man, I appreciate, the time and the energy, that we shared with each other today. And I'm making this video, in honor of you, Namaste. I salute you. I thank you. And today we're going to talk about loving yourself and forgiving yourself. It's crazy because the greatest tragedy in life, one of the greatest tragedies in life, is to live your life and never have forgiven yourself. To live your life and to never have loved yourself. Because so often we grow up and we want to be loved. We look for our parents to love us. We look for our siblings and our grandparents and all these other people to bestow all this love on us. And some of us grow up in hostile environments to where we don't get any of that love. We don't get the love from our parents. We don't get that love and that acceptance from our siblings. We don't get that from our family members at all. What we get is hell on wheels. You know what I mean? We get hurt. We get betrayed. We get rejected. We get abandoned. We get told how stupid we are. We get told how dumb we are. We get told how we wish we weren't born, how they wish we weren't born. We get told all this stuff that kills our self-esteem, that destroys us from within. And so we grow up and we're wanting to be loved. We grow up and we're wanting to be validated. We grow up and we're wanting to be accepted. And the great majority of us do so many different crazy things looking for acceptance. Some of us join gangs. Some of us end up going to the penitentiary. Some of us get drunk and do alcohol and go to the clubs and bars and sleep with any and everybody. Why? Because we want to be accepted. We want to be valued. We want to be appreciated. We want to be seen. We want to be heard. And our whole life, we've been invisible. Our whole life, we've been voiceless. Our whole life, nobody's cared about what we had to say. Our whole life, nobody cared about us individually, other than how we gonna make them feel. What are we doing for them? And if you're not doing something for them, going getting something for them, or having sex with them, then you're useless. You're a waste of oxygen. And so we learn not to love ourselves. We learn not to value ourselves. And that's one of the greatest tragedies in life, is to live your entire life not valuing who you are, not loving who you are. Never learning how to forgive yourself. It's crazy because you would think that in the church, they would teach you how to love yourself. In the church, they would teach you how to forgive yourself. In the church, they would teach you how to value yourself. But we weren't taught any of this stuff. I'm gonna speak for me. I wasn't taught any of this stuff. I was taught to love everybody else. I was taught to put everybody else's opinions, everybody else above myself. I was taught that joy was an acronym that stood for Jesus first, others, and then yourself last. I'm going to say that again. In the Christian religion that I grew up in, they told us that joy was an acronym. It stood for Jesus, others, and yourself. And what they were telling us, you got to love Jesus first. You got to put Jesus first. Then you put everybody else. And you put yourself last. And if I could be honest with you, that's why the great majority of Christians are depressed now. That's why the great majority of Christians are filled with anxiety. Don't know who they are, don't have healthy boundaries, don't love themselves, don't value themselves. And it's not just Christians. I'm not knocking Christianity at all. You know what I mean? But we have to learn the truth. We have to understand that, man, we have to learn how to love ourselves. We have to learn how to forgive ourselves. So many of us, we could forgive our parents, we could forgive our grandparents, we forgive all these people that's done things to us. But for whatever reason, we can't forgive ourselves. For as me, man, I was extremely judgmental in regards to myself. I was hard on me. I was my own worst critic. Could nobody put me in an emotional prison like I put myself in. Could nobody tear me down like I tear myself down. Could nobody hate on me as much as I hated on myself. Could nobody destroy my life like I could destroy my own life. These are all learned behaviors. They were learned behaviors. See, understand, because my father was in prison, my mom was dead, and I'm in an abusive, emotionally abusive, mentally abusive, physically abusive, sexually abusive home, you know, to where, man, these Christian people aren't gonna lie to me. This is my family. These people love me. These people care about me. So I thought. And so the trip is, man, they were constantly tearing us down. They were constantly telling me that I was stupid and that I was dumb and I was going to end up in prison the rest of my life. And I wasn't going to amount to anything. I was going to be dead before I was 18. And if I didn't die before I was 18, I was going to be in prison like my dad for the rest of my life. They're constantly telling me how I had the devil in me. Stay with me. I'm going somewhere. And so in my mind, I'm a little kid. In my mind, these people love me. These people are so much smarter than me. These people have such a great relationship with God. They're not lying to me. They would never lie to me. What was so wrong with me that I was so unworthy of love? What was so messed up with me that even God didn't want me? What was so wrong with me to where I was already damned to hell as a little kid? What did I do to deserve this? What did I do? What was so messed up with me that God didn't even think I was worthy to live a long life? What was so messed up with me that God was going to have me killed before I was 18? What was so messed up with me that if God did let me live, he was going to put me in prison for the rest of my life? All I wanted to do was worship God. All I wanted to do was have a relationship with God. But I was told that I had the devil in me. So I learned to hate myself. I learned not to trust myself. I learned to push everybody away. Because in my mind, they were going to see the devil in me. In my mind, they were going to see that I was useless. In my mind, they were going to see that I wasn't about anything. And that I had no future. I had no redeemable qualities. I wasn't worthy of love. And I didn't want them to see that. And when people broke my heart, it validated everything that they told me. When all these young ladies broke my heart, when all of these people abused me, it validated everything that these people told me, that I was damned to hell. It validated everything that they told me, that I was useless. I was stupid. I was dumb. I had the devil in me. I wasn't any good. And so I grew up believing that that's how I was supposed to be treated. That's not how I wanted to be treated, but I believed that's how I was supposed to be treated. Because it was normal. That's all I knew. I didn't understand compassion. I couldn't understand mercy. I couldn't understand somebody wanting to hug me and love me for me. If they did show that to me, they had an ulterior motive. They had to. It wasn't real. They were just doing that just to get close to me. I had to learn to forgive myself. I had to learn to love myself. When I learned to love myself, I learned how to forgive myself. I had to recognize the fact that I was worthy of forgiveness. I was worthy of love. It was a hard process. It was a hard battle. It was one of the greatest battles I've ever went through. But it was worthy. It was worth it. And I recognized everything that I went through was trying to teach me about love, was trying to teach me about loving myself, forgiving myself, forgiving others. Stop being so judgmental in regards to myself. Stop hating myself so much. Stop tearing myself up so much. See, it was easy for me to do that because I didn't love myself. It was easy for me to belittle myself. It was easy for me to make myself look like an ass. It was easy for me to make myself look stupid and to tear myself down, and to dumb myself down just to be accepted and embraced by other people. It was easy for me to do all those things because I didn't love myself. And because I didn't love myself, I didn't have any healthy boundaries. And I had to realize that all of the actions that everybody else took in regards to my life, they were my teachers. They were doing different things. And it wasn't about trying to hurt me. It was about trying to show me, Elijah, man, you have to set boundaries. Elijah, man, you have to stop allowing people to treat you this way. Elijah, you have to first love yourself. You have to value yourself. You have to respect yourself. You're never going to have healthy boundaries until you learn to start valuing yourself. Until you start learning to love yourself. So often we want to play the victim and not understand that we teach people how to love us. I'm going to say that again. We teach people how to love us. If I don't love myself, how can I expect everybody else to love me? If I don't think that I'm worthy of healthy boundaries, if I don't think that I'm worthy and I don't respect myself, how can I expect my spouse, my kids, and other people to respect me? See, when I respect myself, when I value myself, when I love myself, I have healthy boundaries. And because I have healthy boundaries, I'm not going to allow anybody to disrespect me. I'm not going to allow anybody to mistreat me. And so I'm going to show them what I'm going to accept and what I'm not going to accept. I'm going to show them how to love me based on how I love me. It's a hard thing to flip the script, to find yourself worthy of love. And the great majority of us, we fake the funk. And what I mean by that, we talk about we love ourselves. We get all made up. We get all dolled up, you know what I mean? And women get all prettied up and all that other stuff, you know? And man, you look at him, it's like, man, she got it together. And whoop-de-whoop, look at him. He got on his his Stacey Adams. He got on his rings and blue. He's, you know, he's laced up, blinged out, you know what I mean? And he hates himself. He's so insecure. He hates himself. And because I hated myself, man, I could go out and sleep with anybody. I could go out and sleep with any woman. I didn't care what they looked like. I had no standards. My only standards was you had to be of age. It was consensual. And I think that was it. And you had to be a female. You know what I mean? Those three things. You had to be female, had to be of age, and they had to be consensual. Those are the only standards that I had. That was it. I didn't care how you looked. None of that stuff mattered. And then when I started valuing myself, when I started loving myself, I realized that, man, I ain't got to sleep with everybody. Man, they're not worthy to sleep with me. Not that I think I'm better than everybody, but man, I ain't got to sleep with her. Just because she wants to? No. No. And the trip is, I'm sorry, my battery's tripping. We have to learn to love ourselves. We have to learn to value ourselves. You have to understand that you're worthy of love. That you're worthy of forgiveness. You have to learn to forgive yourself for not knowing any better. You have to learn to forgive yourself for all of the mistakes that you've made. For all of the bad choices that you've made, the quote unquote bad choices that you've made. It was in the process of you making all of those quote unquote bad choices, all those mistakes. It was a process of you learning how to love yourself, of you coming back home. Like the prodigal child, you had to go out and hit rock bottom before you woke up, before you had that revelation, before you had that enlightening moment. And man, I ain't got to do this. I ain't got to live like this. Man, I'm chosen. Man, I am somebody. I'm a king. I'm a prince. I'm a princess. I'm a queen. Whatever. I'm somebody. I don't have to live like this. I live like this because I don't love myself. I live like this because I didn't have any boundaries. I lived like this because I didn't recognize who I was. I forgot who I was. My hope and prayer is that you come into an understanding of who you are, that you recognize and remember who you are, and that you're worthy. You're worthy of love. You're worthy of validation from yourself first and foremost. You're worthy of your own acceptance. And when you learn that, man, what other people's opinions of you are don't matter. When you love yourself and you accept yourself, man, anybody can have an opinion of you and it won't faze you at all because you love yourself. Their opinions matter of you when you don't love yourself, when you don't like yourself, when you don't embrace and accept who you are. Then you need the validation from everybody else. And that's why you need everybody else's validation, because you don't love yourself. My hope and prayer is that you come into this revelation, that you have your prodigal son moment, that you have your awakening moment. And when I'm talking about awakening now at this moment, I'm talking about just an awakening of who you are. An awakening of, man, I'm worthy. Man, I'm loved. Man, I'm valued. And everything I went through was to teach me how to love me. But because I didn't understand that, I took the lessons as how to hate me, how to dislike me, how to tear myself down. I misunderstood the lessons. I misunderstood the purpose of those lessons. And the truth be told, you've misunderstood your lessons as well. And that's why you don't like you. That's why you can't forgive yourself. That's why you don't love yourself. That's why you don't have healthy boundaries. I'm here to tell you, I'm here to remind you that you're worthy. You're worthy of love. You're worthy. You're worthy. I love you guys. Happy healing. Peace.